Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Gurureva Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Chinmayam Vyapyat Sarvam Trilokyam Sacharacharam Tatpadam Darshitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Tvameva Mata Cha Pita Tvameva Tvameva Bandhuscha Sakha Tvameva Tvameva Vedya Dravidam Tvameva Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva. Om Bhadram Karne Vishnuyama Devaha Bhadram Pashye Makshabhirya Jatraha Sthiraya Rangai Shlushruvagum Sastanubihi Vyashema Devahitam Yadayuhu Swasti Na Indro Vridhashravaha Swasti Na Pusha Vishwavedaha Swasti Nastaksho Arishtavemihi Swasti No Brihaspatir Dadhatu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So I think we're still in the first chapter, the Agama Prakarana. And where are we in the text?
Mantra 11.
Mantra 11. Almost done with it.
Can I start?
Please.
Sushupta sthana pragnyo makaras tritiya matra mitera pitorva minoti hava idam sarvam pitischa bhavati ya evam veda. Prajna, whose sphere of activity is the deep sleep state, is Ma, the third letter of Om, because it is both the measure and also that wherein all become one. One who knows this identity of Prajna and Ma is able to know the real nature of the things and beings and also come to realize as being the self of all.
Yes. So again, our rishis like to put us in touch with the benefits of the product. So that's again part of the literary style. Let's dive deeper into this book. Last syllable, matra of Om. And it is the deep sleep state, Sushupta. Here he calls it Prajna. And it is the measure of all. I'm not quite sure I've ever understood what that means. But the whole idea is that the deep sleep state, is the mind folded up into its seed or causal state. The mind is not gone. The mind is in its seed state. It's avyaktaha. It's unmanifest. What deep sleep is the direct experience of our vasanas. Now, normally in everyday conversation, we'll say, oh, Wendy has a cooking vasana. Right? We see her cooking. She likes to cook, cooking vasana. So we infer the nature of the vasana from its effects. But her desire to cook and the cooking is not the pure vasana, it is its effects. Do you see that? The pure vasana, you cannot see its quality, its characteristic, its nature. The Vikshepa Shakti is not there. Only the Avarana Shakti is there. The projecting, meaning name and form and activity, is not there. Only the covering quality, pure ignorance. So in it is the potentiality for every aspect of my life. So if someone were, say, to go over to Punit's and Saundarya's home, and we saw the two of them taking a nap, sleeping side by side, we wouldn't know the nature of their vasanas. Their direct experience when they both woke up. What did you experience? Nothing. What do you remember? Nothing. So that's the direct experience of vasana, is pure ignorance. Now, we are not unconscious. We are knowing ignorance. It is this that eventually gets removed at the moment of self-realization. Now, if we understand what this world is, that it comes about by means of sankalpa, sankalpena, imagination. And your world and my individual world comes about because of yours and my individual vasanas. So he or she who understands this understands the cause of everything that is manifested. On a macrocosmic level, we call it Maya, universal ignorance. Listen carefully. The locus of Maya is Brahman. From that come all the things and beings of the world. And those beings have this strange quality of delusion and then subsequent illusion. The beings do not know that their real nature is Brahman. And they have the subsequent projection. I'm a person. This is my life. I want this. I don't want that. Or dogs, cats, horses, monitor lizards, all of them. All that differs is the equipment. But all activity comes about from the same cause stuff, the unmanifest, cosmically and also individually. That's what makes one person different. So we've had Vishwa or Vaishwanara, the knower of the waking state. We've had Taijasa, the knower of the dream world. And now we have Prajna, knower of nothing, the unmanifest, the seed form of the mind. So actually what happens is in the morning, you wake up. Why do you wake up? Vasana is sprouting. It's springtime for your mind. Just like in the 4 seasons, spring comes and things grow and then things bloom and fruit in summer and autumn. And then what happens? Everything dies back. So you have your day, you get up in the morning, you brush your teeth, you take your shower, you get ready, you go to work, work. And at the end of the day, you come home, have yourself a cup of tea, maybe make some dinner, watch Netflix. The vasanas are all exhausted. But you may have sown new ones, and there's always a huge vasana bundle of vasanas which have yet to fructify. We go back to sleep. The winter of the mind. And morning comes and da dee da da dee da da. Mind wakes up. The vasanas sprout again. They're not gone in deep sleep. Just like when the tulips or the dahlias die off at the end of autumn. Not dead. They're just in the bulb underneath the ground. Any thoughts on this? So if you understand this, you know why everybody does what they do. You know where everything in this world comes from. And all the sproutings are temporary. All right. And one last mantra, I think 12.
There's a Karika.
Karika. Okay.
Vishwasyat vavikshayan at disamanya muktakatam matra sampratipattau syat apti samanyamevacha. When the identity of Vishwa and the sound is to be described, the common features between them are being the first in their respective positions as well as similarity of all pervasiveness.
Yes. So the idea here, he's riffing on what the mantra itself says. That first sound, it pervades all the alphabet. I think we talked about how in the Devanagari alphabet, the letter is implied in everything. So if you want to say ka in English, you have to write K, A. In Devanagari, the script, you just write K. because is already there. Or any other consonant. It's there unless you make a vowel mark to make it do something different. So this idea of the waking state consciousness pervades every perception. Nothing can be known without someone to know it. My eyeball is one. I can see table, chair, lamp. The eyeball is one. The mind is one. It can know sights, sounds, fragrances, etc. The intellect is one. It knows this thought and that thought. But what is it that is the illuminator of all sense perceptions, all feelings, all thoughts? Oh, who am I? What am I? This is the all pervasiveness of the self. Next one.
Taija saras, taija sasyotva utkarsho drishyate sputam matra sampratipattau syat ubhayatvam tathavidam. It is clearly seen that Taijasa is of the same nature as Ut in Om, the common feature being superiority. Another reason for fixing such an identity is being in the middle.
Yes. So it is superior to it. It is part of that transition from deep sleep through the subtle body into the waking state reality. Now, one of the differences between dream and waking, few differences, we can look at it. One of the most significant is we have a greater sense of volition in the waking state. In the dream state, there's a lot more passivity. Things just kind of happen. Once in a while, you have a lucid dream and you know it's a dream and you can make choices in the dream. You can program a dream from within it, but that's not the common dream state. The other big difference is this. In the waking state reality, there's the sense of a shared experience. Stephen, do you see the table? I see the table too. But when you have a dream, I'm not privy to it. So it's contained within. And it's this middle state between deep sleep and waking. Now, what is a dream? Let's go into that a little bit more deeply. I like to say we have essentially three kinds of dreams. The first I call garbage dumping dreams. Swami used to say it is the undigested impressions of the waking state. Dreams are the vomit of the mind. So I have experiences in the waking state and I don't fully process them. So they stay in a more latent form and we work out those mental situations in the dream. We take a little piece of this, a little piece of that. You know, all of a sudden there's a dear friend from school, but it's present time. You know, how you mix things and match them. You can get some value in understanding your psychology through dream analysis. Some people go quite deeply into that. As a yogi, it's all just mind. It's all just illusory. Sometimes in the dream state, we tune to higher and more universal layers of mind. Many people will get a visit from their guru in the dream state. Sometimes a passed on relative will visit you in a dream. Who's had that experience? Yeah. So we lose the conscribed sense of an individual mind, and it gets a little bit thinned out. Then there are some people who in the dream state get prophecy, get messages. What does the Bible say? Your young men will see visions, and your old men will dream dreams. So you get messages about what may be happening for the society at large. Anybody know about Carl Jung's Red Book?
Heard of it, but I never. Oh, it was his dreams, right?
Well, it was a series of dreams that he had, and it was prior to the Second World War. And there are pictures in it and writings in it. I went to a series of lectures on it several years ago. Fascinating. But he had intuitions about the terrible violence that was going to happen in Europe. Go ahead, Stephen.
No, I just was, it's interesting to know. Not something I've experienced.
Anybody know who Edgar Cayce is?
Yes, the name. Yeah.
The sleeping prophet. Early 20th century, he would go into kind of a hypnotic trance and he would prophesy. So he's tuning in to higher levels of mind. Other things about dreams. Most men dream in black and white. Women tend to dream in color. But when you have what the Native Americans call a big dream, where it may be somebody visits you or something that's prophetic either for your own life or the society, there will be a tremendous sense of vividness about it. Colors will be extra bright and vivid. Who's had dreams like that on occasion? They're there. What does it mean? Illusion in the end. But many spiritual traditions do a lot of study around the dream state. Some people think it's more real than the waking state. Vedanta says, no, it's just in the middle. But it can oftentimes reveal to us what's really going on in our subconscious. That's one of its values. So you can learn from them. But the vast majority, 90%, 99%, just garbage dumping. Undigested impressions from the waking state. Any thoughts? Going on.
the just an interesting observation about the fact that you said the sound and the sound is like a gross and a subtle form of maybe imagination. Like even from a physical aspect, if you just perceive the sounds oo and ma, they're like loud, and it gets less loud, and it gets like less loud, and then there's silence. So it has a similar
Good point.
structure and shape to it too.
Yes, yes. Ooh is the one that's furthest back.
Mhm.
All right, next, Karika.
Rishu dhamassu yastulyam samanyam veti nishchitah sapujya sarva bhutanam vandhyaschaiva mahamunihi. He who knows without doubt what the common features are in the three states is worshipped and adored by all beings, and he is indeed the greatest sage.
Yes. So the implication here is we want to know not only what is beyond the three states, but also what the three states are and what they imply. Self-realization makes you master of this world and beyond. What do I mean by master of this world? Very simply, the things of this world no longer have the capacity to frighten us, to bring suffering about. We know what it is, how it comes about, and we know what's beyond this world. All right, so was that the 12th?
I think we skipped one, 21. Did we skip that?
Oh yeah, I skipped one. Sorry.
We won't dock your pay. Don't worry.
Makara bhavi pragnasya manasamanyam mutkatam matra sampratipattau tu laya samanyam cha. The identity of prajna and ma is upon the clear common feature, and they both are the measure. The other reason for such an identity is because all become one in both prajna and ma.
Yeah, everything is wrapped up into deep, dark, delicious nothing. Prajnana Ghanam is the term we have. A homogeneous mass of pure ignorance, of pure mind, without any differentiation. All right, we did the following one. What's next?
There's one more karika before the 12th mantra. Akaro nayate vishwam ukaraschapi taijasam makarascha puna pragnyam namatre vidyate katihi. The sound letter helps the meditator to attain a well-developed waking state personality, Vishwa. The meditator on U attains a well-developed Taijasa, mind and intellect, and he who meditates on Ma attains Prajna. In the soundless, there remains no attainment.
Yes. So U and Ma is this world. The code that we get in scripture is Sarvam Idam, all this. Jagat, the manifest world. Waking, dream, and deep sleep are the three states of the mind. But the person who meditates on Turiya, it's not another mind state. It's not wackadoodle mind. It is the consciousness, the awareness in which the three states occur, that in fact pervades them. It's another name for yourself. Awesome. We call it the fourth. Not the fourth plane of mind or consciousness, like it's a place you go to. Ultimately, it is who you are. All right. Did we finish the end of the? There's one more mantra.
There's one moment. Amatrascha turtho vyavaharya prapancho pashamaha Shivodvaita evam onkara atmaiva samvishatyatmanatmanam ya evam veda iti Mandukya Upanishad samapta. That which has no parts, the soundless, the cessation of all phenomena, all blissful and non-dual, Om is the fourth, and verily it is the same as the Atma. He who knows this merges his self in the Supreme Self, the individual in the total. Here ends the Mandukya Upanishad.
Yes. So after we've thoroughly known this world, the waking state, the dream state, and the deep sleep state, knowing what the mind and its manifestations are, in a moment, when your mind is quiet, when the mind has been thinned, when you can begin to see space between your thoughts, introvert the attentive faculty rather than being focused on what you see. Who sees? Who knows? Who am I? And the sense of individuality falls. What's there is Chidakasha, the space of pure awareness. Vast and empty. Completely peaceful. That's myself. Now, when we say the individuality merges into that, it's not like a drop dropping into water, into the ocean. When you awaken from the dream, where does the dream and the dreamer, the dream ego, the dream body go? It's gone. But you have gone nowhere. One point I was seeing this dream world and it's gone. The alarm went off and I'm in my bed. I am the knower of this dream state that went poof. Now, what I like to say, the shift between the dream state and the waking state is a gross shift. There's a definite shift in my identity. There I was running around in the dream state, and then all of a sudden, gone. I'm in my bed. So also, There I am identified as the ego. I do this, I don't do that, I see this, etc., etc., etc. But when I thin the mind and introvert the attentive faculty and go looking for this apparent individuality, it falls. Oh, I'm not a person. And that space of awareness. Where did the person go? He was there a moment ago. Gone. The individuality only seems to arise when you don't look at it. It's an assumed self. When I'm in contact with the senses, with the mind, with the intellect, I see the table, I feel my feelings, I think my thoughts. Then the phony self, the counterfeit self, this chaya, this reflected self, this shadow self, seems to arise. I just assume like that. But if I really investigate, I cannot find the person. I can find sensations, I can find feelings, I can find thoughts. But I cannot find the person. But I can realize something that's always there. I. Don't believe me. Maybe you're a little gray ball with wings inside. Look, maybe the Upanishad is full of BS. Take this as a scientific hypothesis. Be a spiritual scientist. When you're in science and you have a hypothesis, David's a scientist. You do an experiment, then you prove or disprove your hypothesis. Blind faith is stupid faith, and it will fail us in a crisis. All right, so we've now finished the Agama Prakarana, the first chapter, the scriptural portion.
No, there's more Karika actually.
Oh, there is. Never mind. Going on.
Omkaram padasho vidyat padamatra na sanshayah. Omkaram padasho jnatva na kinchidapi chintayet. The Om syllable should be known quarter by quarter. There is no doubt, indeed, that the quarters of the self are the same as the Murray letters of Om. Having grasped thus the entire significances of Omkara, nothing else whatsoever should be thought of.
Yes. So, Omkara means the word Om. So it means we are to know it quarter by quarter. waking state, the dream state, the deep sleep state. And who's the witness of them all? Now, why is this an important Karika? I can remember in 1994, I was hanging out in Amaji's ashram in Kerala. Great, great saint. People would come from literally all over the world. Vast majority were Indians, though. They'd come, take them days to come. And hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people would line up to come up and get her darshan. She's the hugging guru. She hugged. But many of the Indians, especially, would ask her a question. They'd get up there. Oh, Amaji, should my son marry this girl? Oh, Amaji, should I go into business with so and so? And she'd answer as best she could. But it's such a waste of their time and hers. In Vivekachudamani, we go through the section on the qualifications of a fit student. And then we have the 7 questions. These are the questions to bring to the Guru. What is bondage? How has it come about? How does it continue to exist? How do I get out of it completely? What is the not self? Who, notice the change of pronoun, is the real self? And what is the process of discrimination between the two? These are the things to think about. Should you think about what you're going to make for dinner? Of course you can. Can you have an interest in politics or the economy? Yeah. But what the Karika is saying is the vast majority of your time, your attention, should be focused on those 7 questions. Om is the answer. How we've gone through what it is. What is this world? The not self. Who is the real self? The silence. That is what is to be known. Any thoughts? Next one.
Yunjita pranave cheta pranavo brahma nirbhayam pranave nityayuktasya na bhayam vidyate kvachit. Soak the mind with the roar of Om.
Yes.
Identify the mind with the sound of Om. Om is Brahman, the ever fearless. He who is always unified with Om shall know no fear whatsoever.
Soak the mind with the roar of Om. That's really Swamiji's poetry. The idea is drown the mind. So, soak the mind with Om. All its implications. always include that fourth matra, that fourth quarter. Silence. I think that is the last one, isn't it?
There's more.
Okay.
So Tootsie Roll, less than one time.
Pranavo hyaparam brahma pranavascha paraspritaha apurvo nantaro brahmyo napara pranavo vyavyaha. Om is verily the lower Brahman, and it is also declared to be supreme Brahman. Pranava is without any cause preceding it, without subsequent manifestation, without anything inside and outside, unrelated to any effect and changeless.
So pranava is just another name for Om. So Om is the lower Brahman, Sa Guna Brahman, Brahman with qualities. The phenomenal world is Brahman, is Om. Uma. Om is also Nirguna Brahman, Brahman without qualities, meaning the eternal subject. Know the difference and know the not difference. I used to get confused about this. We call this philosophy that we study Advaita Vedanta. Vedanta means the end of the Vedas, the end of knowledge. The philosophy we find in the Upanishads. Advaita means literally not two. We say non-dual. I used to think, why don't they call it Ekam Sat Vedanta? Ek is one, Sat truth. Vedanta, the one truth. Oh, it couldn't mean. Because the fact of our direct experience is I see stuff. Real spirituality never denies our direct experience. The fact of being a human being is our cognition of phenomena. There's a noumenon, a word, and phenomena, things known. Isn't that your direct experience? Yeah?
Mhm.
Yep.
Looks like two, but it's not two. That's the meaning of this. Karika. It's easy to understand if you go to the dream state. In the dream state, I have a dream body, which is a locus of perception. I peep out at a dream world, and I have a dream ego. That's me. And there are people, places, things, and conditions out there. I see stuff in the dream. But upon awakening, it looked like two, but it's not two. It's all just by one mind. This is no different. Is there another one? Another Karika?
That's three more.
That's three. Sarvasya pranavo yadin ardhyamantastathaiva cha evam hi pranavam jnatva vyashnute tadanantaram. Om is verily the beginning, the middle, and the end of all. Knowing Om as such, verily one attains immediately to that supreme reality.
Yes. Where does everything come from? This stuff that's all manifest. Oh, when it dissolves and disintegrates back into the unmanifest. Oh, everything in this world arises out of prior non-existence. It is apparent for a while, existence, then dissolves into subsequent non-existence. And I, the knower, watch that great go by with a succession of now, now. I am before the beginning of the worlds. All is dissolved. I am, meaning yourself. Were you there before the Big Bang? The scriptures say so. But let's not worry about that. Your existence before the Big Bang probably has very little to do with your happiness or misery right now. You know what I mean? But whatever's going on in your life, whatever situation, unemployment, politics, health issue, know it all as impermanent. Look to your direct experience. You are always there. Don't worry. Don't sweat the small stuff. It's all small stuff. Do you want to be miserable? Hang on to something. For us to hang on to a job, a relationship, a home, a politic, a bank account is like trying to tell the waves to stop crashing on the shore and stop receding. Absolutely futile. It's a denial of reality. Become familiar with the fact that you are nityam. We have two words in Sanskrit which have a little bit difference in meaning. Nityam means eternal. Eternal is outside of time. We have anatanam, ancient, or puranam, really, really old. That's in time. Self is both Nityam and Purana. Don't worry about it being really old. See whether or not you are always there to every experience. Keep introverting your attention, keep checking out yourself, and see if you undergo any change. I meditated yesterday. I did subject object discrimination. I was just the space of consciousness. Last night, nope, I was a milk bottle. No, nobody has that experience. I saw a milk bottle. Who saw it? I did. Oh, wait a minute, you're not the milk bottle. Next one.
Pranavam Ishwaram Vidya Sarvasya Hridi Sansthitam Sarva Vyapina Momkaram Matva Dhiro Na Shochati. Know Om to be Ishvara, the Lord, ever present in the hearts of all. The man of discrimination, realizing Om as all-pervading, does not ever grieve.
Yes. So Ishvara means the Lord. We can look at it from many, many ways. The Godhead, the infinite. God has many, many different names. Ultimately, it's yourself. But Ishvara, usually translated as the Lord, comes from the root ichati, which means to wish or to will or to intend. It is that inherent power of consciousness, such that the potentiality of all manifestation is inherent. Your puny little ego is nothing. The fool thinks, Jim, am I going to do this and make that happen and tough it through and be willful? I'm going to solve all my problems. You go there? Mudha, fool. No. Om Ishvara, the Lord. Master Jesus said, who by taking thought can add 1 cubit to his stature? David does healing work. David, how tall are you?
5'6".
And how much visualization or energy work do you need to do to be 6'1"?
Infinite.
Hmm?
Infinite.
Why bother?
I can't.
It ain't going to happen. Some things we have a little bit of control over. The vast majority,
I've come to a different conclusion.
which is
That these things happen in me is like a talent and have nothing to do with me as a person.
excellent. Did you all hear that?
And the
First part of it.
Say it again a little louder.
these things that I do occur to me as the unfolding of a talent, but has nothing to do with me as a person.
This is what the Master Jesus meant when he said, I of myself do no thing. it is the Father within that doeth the work. Or the great Saint Francis prayer, Lord, make me an instrument, make me a channel of thy peace. So how do we fall into, dive into Ishvara? I can't. He can. I think I'll let him.
Whether I let him or not, he's gonna do it.
But I can suffer in the meantime.
Pay in advance.
Hmm?
Pay in advance.
So know Om to be Ishvara, the Lord of it all. So in our study of Karma Yoga, the fifth element, the renunciation of the sense of agency. There's two ways you can look at it. Who is the agent? Guna and karma, the qualities of mind and the force of the past. But the other way we can look at it is it's all Ishvara. I surrender. I turn my will and my life over to the care of the great architect, great builder of all. All right, next one.
Amatro nantamatrascha dvaitasyopaşama shivaha omkaro vidito yena samunirnetaro janaha. One who has known Om, which is moreless or of multiple more, meaning Om which is soundless and of infinite sounds, and which is ever peaceful because of negation of all duality in it, is the true sage, none other.
Yes. So, the true sage, the person of steady wisdom, knows this world and the beyond, that they're not fundamentally different. Nirguna Brahman, Brahman without qualities, always experienced as I. Saguna Brahman, Brahman with qualities. This phenomenal world. Sarvam Kalvidam Brahma, all this is verily God, it's verily Brahma. Person who truly knows this gives up kartavya, personal sense of struggle. Yeah, be with, it'll be better, more better, different. All right, is that the end?
That was the last one.
It is. I hear it. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Guru Bhyo Namaha. Hari Om.